That is the sound of the jar of names. We shall pick out a jar of names name for this episode. We have... this video is for everyone, including, but not excluded to, DragonLord55511. Right, so back in the other jar of names you go. Oh, my voice. Right, and let's get on with the rest of the podcast, shall we? Right, so this is a Cup of Tea in a podcast. This is the cup of tea. Still very hot, though. And this is the podcast. Right, so if you want to go down to my first comment, which should be there straight away this week, should be my skip list. It should take you to the update, it will take you to the topic, it will take you to the book club, it will take you to the question, it will take you to the goals. Right, so let's start off with update. Right, quite a big update. Like I said, right a lot. There's always a word I always go to. Today it looks like it's going to be right. Okay. So, Last Harvest Moon Back to Nature is this week on Friday. It comes out. It's a shorter episode. It's only about less than 10 minutes. But, oh my god, I've finished it. It's amazing. Obviously, check that out if you can. And I think most of you know what my new Let's Play is now. Hopefully, I put the next Let's Play video up yesterday on Sunday. So, you should all know what that is now. If you've seen it, if you haven't, then I'm about to tell you because I want to tell you before I actually finish the next game. It is Fable, the first one. The Lost Chapters, the anniversary edition to be precise. But yes, I want to let you know because obviously there's questions. There's actually a question this week as well. But there's questions in that next Let's Play video. The next, what is it? It's the 16th Let's Play is. That's the video it was. So if you want to go check it out and answer those questions if you haven't already. Because it will help out in the long run. And of course, you'll have your little own stamp on the game and the Let's Play and stuff. But yeah, that's happening. That's going to be next week. Obviously, this week's pretty much normal. Next week's going to be all the different changes. So come back next week for the update of what's going to happen then. And of course, next week as well, it's the holiday. I did say that Harvest Moon was going to be finished just before the holiday, and that's true. It's actually happened. Next week, I've got a week off. I'm going to try and hammer down on Cup of Adventure, get that sorted out and under control. But we'll talk about that next week. I think that's about it, talking about wise. Think so, yep. I'm recording the Fable on Thursday, by the way, so this Thursday. So if you have any questions that you want me to put in there or something about it, then let me know before then, and obviously that's when it will affect the actual game we're playing. Right then, let's go on to topic. Names. What names have we got? So this week, we've got podcast on a Monday. That's what we're doing right now. And then later we have one of the final episodes of Harvest Moon Back to Nature. You'll be able to see a trend at the moment. The episode is called Good Friends Goodbye. Reference to the goodbye song from Bear in the Big Blue House, because we're saying goodbye to people, my good friends. And then Tuesday we got a Assassin's Creed Revelations called Landmark Scouting, because you can probably guess what we are doing with one of the landmarks, perhaps looking about, see what we can find. Wednesday we've got Harvest Moon Back to Nature, the second to last one, the last proper one. It's called Endangered. Reference to endangered species, because we talk and say goodbye to all my animals, and obviously endangered species because there's no more of them because we'll be going. That's that. Thursday we've got an episode of Assassin's Creed Revelations called Dry and Old. Dry because of something I remain, and old because of a certain character we've got in there. Okay, and then Friday we've got Harvest Moon Back to Nature, the final episode. I will not say what the title is called because remember there's that whole riddle that's going out throughout the episodes where it started with a budding seed and it's grown up into something, and the final title will be a reveal of what it grew into, because I think it's quite a good riddle, quite a nice little underlying tone to the whole thing, and I think you'll enjoy it. So that's out on Friday. I will not tell you what it's called, but it's you can think about it. Right, and then we've also got Assassin's Creed Revelations on Saturday, a pointing episode called Tell Us a Story. It's a little bit different because all we're doing is reading off some books, and we're not really looking around because there's nothing to do left pointing-wise, but there is some pointing stuff left to do, which is that's what we did. Okay, let's go on to book club then. So book club's still reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's actually really good at the moment. I've got to that point now where everything's going quite fast because I've got into reading it and I've got used to it, and I'm getting through it very fast. And Jonathan Strange has just been introduced, so that's quite fun. So yeah, it's actually getting someplace now. I've got past that point. I think I'm on page 150, and that's when I'll sort of get my hook into it, and that's when I sort of go through it quite fast. So that's good. But yeah, enjoying it so far. Still loving the little citations of, like it goes one, it goes to the bottom, and it explains what something is, as in the book that they reference in the game, in the actual book itself as well. Right, let's get on to community section. Let's get on to Mention Monday. These are the people that commented on last week's videos, so thank you very much for commenting. Let's go through them. We have Mr. Big White 661199, Horia, Dragonlord 55511, Max Ravage, and 40k Warrior Man. So thank you all very much for commenting. And if you haven't yet commented on the Fable or questions, then I would highly advise you to do so, because it'll be very helpful for myself, and of course you might get a chance of influencing the Let's Play, which is always nice. I always like it when other people do that. That's why I try to do it, because I like it when other people do it. Right, let's get moving on. Again, right is the word to go to today. Q&A. We have 2 questions. Horia says, you got the new Ratchet & Clank, didn't ya? I did. I was contemplating doing a Let's Play, because I can do PS4 games with the built-in recorder. Sadly, though, it cuts out certain cutscenes in some things they don't want you to see, and the Ratchet & Clank, they cut out all of the cutscenes because it's part of the movie. So that's why I'm not doing a Let's Play of that game, because I can't keep in half the game, so I'm not doing that. Okay then, and then Dragonlord55511 says, hello Sir JDTwoSixTwo, I have a question and a riddle for you. Question: who is your favourite UK comedian from either Britain, Ireland, Scotland or Wales? Do you know what? I don't think I have one. David Walliams is quite funny. I'm going to go with that one, because why not? Just because I'm watching Britain's Got Talent, and he's in it. So there we go. Riddle: take me to church, take me for a spin, and I will make you cool. But use me when it is cool, and you are a fool. What am I? Hint: it is the machine that you use when it is hot outside, and it is the word you use when you're famous and certain people say, I am your biggest ? It is fan. I'm your biggest fan. It keeps you cool, and it would be stupid if you use it on a hot day, even though I probably do sometimes. No, I don't. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Cool. Right. Oh, I haven't actually updated my subscribers list. We'll have a look at that in a second. We'll do it together. Right then, let's go on to... that's next, subscribers, yeah. Right, so last week, we'll just quickly have a little check. We'll quickly have a little looky. I think we've gone up 3, if I remember correctly, because last week we were on 1,161. This week we have gone up 3. We've gone to 1,164. That's an increase of 3, and that is very impressive. But this week we only have one new name, and that is Xiao Wei Xian. And that was my terrible attempt at trying to read Chinese. I typed into Google Translator, by the way. I'm not fluent in reading Chinese. But yes, so welcome to the community. If you have a interesting fable, check out that video and answer the questions if you can. Right, let's get on to the next question. The next question, or not the next question, the next thing is question. It is the question, yeah. Last week's question was, what avatar skill would you have? What bender would you be? Horia answered last week where he said he would be, I believe it was fire and air, I think it was. But this week he says his third choice would be water because of blood bending, which is that trick where you can bend the water in people's bodies, because we are 75% of water or something like that. And he said he'd be able to kill someone by squeezing all the blood into their brain, and he thinks it would be hilarious. A true dangerous warrior, Horia. And truly horrific as well, so you lived up to your name. Right, Max Ravage says he wouldn't mind being a firebender or waterbender. Water for bloodbending, that seems to be a pattern with some people. I seem to attract a certain type of person to my videos. And the other one is fire for lightning, so he could power his own house, because that'll be very eco-friendly. Because obviously with fire you can produce electricity, because of some weird, strange reason, and that's why. 40k Warrior Man says he would like to be an earthbender, just like myself, because he would like to be a metal bender, because he thinks it will be very useful in situations and can provide a lot of utility. Okay, yes, that's very good. It's one of the aspects, the secondary bending skills of that one. Metal. It seems to be everyone's gone for the... Yeah, they have. Everyone's gone for one of the side bending ones. Because two of you have said blood bending, one of you said metal bending, so quite strange that. Right then, let's go on to this week's comment, is that right? It is. No, it's not. It's this week's question. This week's question, what is it? Well, this week's question is about the Fable stuff. It's a question I forgot to ask in my next Let's Play video. It is, would you like me to use a bow or a crossbow? Crossbows take longer to reload. Not sure what the benefit is of them, really. So it's up to you. Do you want me to use a bow or crossbow? There's not much difference, really. In fact, the benefit of the crossbow is I think it's more powerful. But yeah, which one would you like me to do? I think bows are stronger. The last bow you get is the strongest one you can get, because you can sort of cheat the system through its special ability. But yeah, it's the main one. Which one would you use for most of the time? A bow or crossbow? Doesn't really change much of the gameplay. It's just a small question I thought I'd put in here just to make all these things Fable Week sort of thing. Right, now this week's question goes to... This week's comment goes to Horia. He basically said in Harvest Moon, I think the ball despawned since you threw out another one. He would suggest testing out and see what happens if you throw two balls at the same time. Yeah, that wasn't going to get this week's comment because, you know, it's a very good observation, but it wasn't the strongest I felt. But I actually did. It actually stayed with me, and it subconsciously told me when I was doing the Let's Play of Harvest Moon, I actually tried it, and yes, you can only throw one ball at a time, so that's why, because we're like fact busters, you know? We find the truth behind the facts. So that's why, because it actually stuck with me, and I actually did it in the Let's Play, which I didn't mean to do, but I did. So yeah, that's why that is this week's comment. Right, let's go out of the community section and go on to goals then. So, last week's goal, I believe, was to get to a good place where I can start doing things. Slowly, back to a good place, yes. I feel like I'm getting there, which is good because half term is next week, so that's good. Because all the details have been updated now. Then yesterday I felt like I was getting tired and I thought, no, get this finished. And that sort of beating the lazy demon sort of thing. By getting my head down, getting it all done, and I did it. I'm all up to date now with details, so hopefully as soon as this video goes up, we should have all of the update, all the logos, the details, and even the skip list as well, which I know Nick Pro has been talking about as well, because it's not being there. Now it should be there straight away. Also, I did that next Let's Play video at the weekend as well, so that's two things I did this week, which is quite good. So this week, until next week, this week's goal is going to be finish that last couple of adventure video that I have on my hard drive, and then start filming stuff, because I need to do that so I can catch up. Ideally, I want to be caught up by the time E3 starts, which is not long, so hopefully get that sorted. In fact, I need to get that sorted, that's not long at all. But that is it. Oh no, I haven't got this week's film. Yep, so that's this video done then. I shall finish this cup of tea, which I just burnt myself with again because it's still quite hot. And yeah, I guess I see. Until next time we meet, farewell. Enjoy the ending of Harvest Moon Back to Nature this week. It's very fun. I enjoyed it. Very sad as well, I think. But yeah, that is about it. So I will say, what film? The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. Do you understand?